Even though I can talk for hours and hours and hours, on this new channel, I'm going to be making a series of videos that are shorter in length. Because in the modern system that we're living in, shadow banning is over the top. And the reality is, if you speak out against white supremacy, black supremacy, and other forms of radicalization, you will be shadow banned. Because what the system is actually doing is boosting the algorithms of those individuals that are pushing hate. Because this is actually, in reality, an alien agenda. In my understanding, in my experience, racists don't get better, they get worse. I have over 15 to 20 years experience in public speaking. I have started a brand new YouTube channel in order to see if I can reach new people with the eyes to see and ears to hear and heart to feel. Because there's a lot of people out there that have been consuming my content for years that take me for granted. And many of them have consciously and unconsciously become energy vampires, and they have become a little too obsessed with trivial things about me instead of focusing on meat and potatoes, the meat and potatoes of what I talk about. Right? So I'm going to create a series of shorter videos here on this new channel. And so if you like what you're hearing, and if you want to know more, and if you want to hear more, I ask that you like the videos, that you subscribe to the channel, and that you comment below, and number 4, later on, that you donate to my work. I believe that those that have fallen into racism, whether it be one form of racism or the other, so it's not limited to white supremacy in the West. That's not the only form of racism going on. But if you have a high enough soul voltage and you are willing to rid yourself of your demons, then yes, you can get better. As far as I am concerned, those that demonize certain human beings may come back in another life in the form of those human beings that they demonized. So think about some of these modern day neo-Nazis coming back as Arabs, coming back as Afghanis, or as Iraqis. As they build up their ethno-state, as they build up their white world order, they are under what I believe is a delusion. They are experiencing psychosis when it comes to the idea of white genocide. Everywhere I've gone in America, I am the only minority. I see blacks, I see whites, I see Latinos, but nobody like me. I was raised in a white family, although my father would not be put into the box as white. And so even though I was raised in one culture, this culture, and because I was open about my heritage on my original platforms, a lot of really messed up things happened to me, and this is not the time that I'm going to go into all that. Right? But I do plan to write a book. But in my experience, racists don't really believe that one is intellectually inferior if they obsess on one's content. What they believe in reality is that certain people, even if they're intelligent, even if they're warning about white slavery, and I'm not going to go down the list of everything that I've warned about over the years, but there's many, many things that only I talk about that none of these alleged superior white men have ever talked about. So I have a gift. And because my gift is not fully appreciated on my main platforms, I am going to talk with you on this fresh platform and see if there's some way in which we can get around the algorithm and the shadow banning. If people are at a certain voltage, soul-wise, and there's ways you can raise that by tuning out from the mainstream media, by curtailing your social media activity, by getting sun, as I said in a previous video. Always check out the previous videos. Don't have a short attention span. Don't be another zombie, right? If you want to grow spiritually, you have to overcome the zombie apocalypse within you now. You can't just point your finger at other people, calling the normies the zombies. You have to be willing to point that finger back at yourself and see where you have also been misled by this dark system. So, I'm going to mention a few things and then conclude this video. You need to rise above the illusions of separation. You need to begin to see the beauty in other cultures and other people. You need to stop identifying with your race as your identity. You need to stop identifying with your gender as your identity. You need to understand truly all lives matter. Take a deep breath. Bring in that prana. Exhale that darkness and breathe in the truth. As you breathe in, as you sit under the sun, breathe in that truth and exhale the programming. Inhale the truth, exhale the programming. Inhale the truth, exhale the programming. In and out. If you have things so figured out, why don't you start your own channel and explain to me what's coming down the pike, so to speak, with China and Russia? Explain how we fix our economies. Explain what we do when the grid doesn't go out, other than buy a bunch of preparedness products. You can go off grid and get away from the big city, but that's not necessarily going to heal your mind from the damage done from the grid itself. If you want to go off grid from this planet, if you want to evolve beyond the prison planet, you need to evolve your own soul voltage, right? So you need to rise above the illusions of separation, looking down upon someone that doesn't look like you. Hating on other people in the anti-New World Order, anti-Illuminati truth movement. You're not going to win this fight by making sure that it's only a Anglo-Saxon anti-New World Order movement. And I actually don't want to use certain language to limit my audience, because I want to go beyond the conspiracy audience. And many of them have had their minds polluted by David Icke, Alex Jones, Red Ice Creations, and so many more, so many others. You want to rise above the darkness and the evil within yourself. You are more than a white man. But if you want to limit yourself to just that and see yourself as a victim, when in reality you have so much privilege, then you're going to stay stuck in this kind of a world. You're going to continue to be manipulated by these alien beings. So there's a reason why, in reality, most hardcore racists don't get better, they get worse. And they take it to the point to where they go out and they kill other people, or they put out propaganda to cause others to go out and kill people, or they support those that send troops to go overseas and kill other people. What you saw in Iraq and Afghanistan with millions dead was a massive neo-Nazi exercise. And so when we talk about white supremacy, we're not just talking about Trump supporters or white men. We are also talking about white women on the left that suffer from white woman supremacy. And so with that, I'm going to bring this video to a close. I'm going to ask that you like the video, that you subscribe to the channel, that you leave comments, and I will be back with more.